going on, Jerome's? So the main story of the day yesterday for the NFL was Brock Purdy getting paid a 5-year, $265 million extension, including $181 million in total guarantees. That's a pretty hefty payday for Mr. Irrelevant from 2022, seventh rounder from Iowa State, who very credible reports that the Vikings had Purdy lined up as a UDFA, but just sort of is what it is. If the 49ers hadn't drafted him with the last selection of the draft. But Purdy has turned himself into a pretty damn good starter. And his contract, it's all up in there. Does this have him on there? No, but $53 million per year. It's in the it's in the Jared Goff conversations in that neighborhood. Now, Brock Purdy, I understand. Like, is he the guy? I like Brock Purdy. I'm not completely sold that he can be the guy, right? And we'll talk about the ramifications of the contract. And he obviously did very well on the field as an extension of Kyle Shanahan in that West Coast offense. Now, yes, he was surrounded by the Avengers, a healthy Christian McCaffrey for most of it. George Kittle just got extended. Brandon Ayuk got paid for whatever. Debo, when Debo was doing Debo things. Trent Williams and whatnot. So basically, yeah, Brock Purdy, great coaching, surrounded by great talent, good offensive line. Perhaps it sounds a little familiar. Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec. But Purdy on his rookie deal, even his cap hit this year at $5 million with the performance incentive, enhanced base salary, it wasn't going to be egregious. And depending on the cash flow of this contract, they only have to take on prorated signing bonus. So I mean, his cap hit this year could still be very reasonable, but it gets very unreasonable very quick. And during his time as a starter for the 49ers, they've had some success. Now, they haven't won the ultimate prize, but they've definitely been better than the average for 2 out of 3 seasons. They lost to Philly in the NFC title game. Remember, Brock Purdy banged up his elbow? Yeah, because it was Josh Sweat on that strip sack. UCL. Yeah, I nailed it. Then 2023 came back, went 12-5, won the division for the second year in a row, and then eventually lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, right? But you see what's happened with the 49ers now, because they had to budget for paying Purdy. Also, they paid George Kittle, and they traded Debo for a 5th-round pick. Not getting a whole lot, but frankly, I think they're selling. They got what they could for Debo and also clean up some of their cash. But also, they weren't very active in free agency. Plus, they let some big-name players. Aaron Banks got overpaid by the Packers. Travarius Ward, a very solid corner, goes to the Colts. Hargrave, obviously, was cut here, and he joins the Vikings. Jalon Moore went out and got paid by the Chiefs as well. Hufanga, who got hurt. Greenlaw was getting up there in age. Malik Collins, Leonard Floyd. So some names that they would like to have kept around, obviously cannot, because at a certain point you gotta get paid and you gotta pay the piper, right? Now with Purdy, here's the transition, right? Because before, like we said, Purdy's was surrounded by the Avengers, right? And also that 49ers defense was really damn good. But you see some of the pieces starting to fade away as resources are allocated towards him. And when you're on your rookie deal, and you can surround you by talent, right? You can be a guy that you win a Super Bowl with. But once you get paid and all that talent around you, there's not as much money to go around, you have to be a guy that you can win a Super Bowl because of. Now, obviously, the 49ers went to the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. But is he a guy that you're going to win a Super Bowl because of? I think he's right on that cusp, right? And it's ironic that he's paid in the same area as a Tua, as a Jared Goff, as a Justin Herbert, because I think that they're also in that conversation. Now, guys like Lamar, guys like Jalen Hurts are guys I think that you can win a Super Bowl because of, and I don't know, I'm just not sure about Purdy, just like Tua, just like Goff, just like Justin Herbert as well. But now he has to have that transition. A long story longer, JJ McCarthy. Right, so J.J. McCarthy, it's unfortunate that he lost his rookie season, but it is what it is. Basically, the Vikings have this window right now, all right, where J.J. McCarthy's on his very reasonable rookie deal. You can even include year 4 of his contract, but year 5 at minimum, if they pick up his 5th-year option, if and when they pick up his 5th-year option, it's going to be $25 million because Kenny Pickett's 5th-year option, which the Browns obviously declined, was $22 million this year, so that's going to be going up and up and up in a couple of years. So now is the time. Right, the Vikings have their starting quarterback on a very cheap and reasonable contract. Next 3 years, Vikings got to be going for the pin, because even if they extend McCarthy after 2026 when he's eligible for a deal, the 2027 cap hits are going to be negligible with the prorated signing bonus. So this is their window right now. 3 years, 2025, 2026, 2027. And you've seen how they've certainly gone about things, because they've gone hard in the paint in free agency over the last 2 years, especially building up on defense, bringing in Grenard, Van Ginkel, cash him outside. How about that? This year, Allen Hargrave, and also syncing up the offensive line, guys like Will Fries, guys like Ryan Kelly, and also, speaking of the defense, re-signing Murph. And now, if and when J.J. McCarthy gets on a premium contract, re-signing guys like Murph, that's going to be a luxury that you're not going to have, right? Also, what's going to happen with Jordan Addison? Addison is eligible for a contract extension after this year, which is why he's always brought up in trade talks. Because number one, he's a great player, don't want to see him go, but it could just be a salary cap constraint, especially since you have Justin Jefferson as one of the highest paid receivers in the game. You have to budget and be ready to take on a guy like J.J. McCarthy, and all of a sudden, like, Tier 1 players become a bit of a luxury. But this is why the Vikings, the next 3 years, is so damn important. And this is why, soup to nuts, top to bottom, the Vikings have a Super Bowl-ready roster. And they're tough, they're deep, they're good in the trenches, and they built up an FU offensive line for J.J. McCarthy. You can run the ball, you can protect him, you got weapons off of play action, you got everything, right? So, again, this is now. It's never too late for now. This is the time. The Vikings have this 3-year window, just like the 49ers had that 3-year window with Brock Purdy. They didn't get it done. They got close, but they didn't get it done. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. But now is the time. Vikings 2025, 2026, 2027, they got to go for it. They just got to get all up in that ass with the resurrection. That's right, man. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Brock Purdy got paid, and more importantly, what does it mean for the Minnesota Vikings? Because it's all about us. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.